Jephthah's own parents begged him to come back and save their nation. Years earlier, they had thrown him out and erased him from their lives. Hurt, angry, and completely lost, Jephthah wandered into the wilderness, searching for meaning. But out there, he slowly became the leader of a dangerous group of fighters feared across the land. And when Israel was finally on the edge of destruction, Jephthah became their only hope. To understand why his own parents kicked him out, we must go back to the beginning of his story. Israel was stuck in a terrible, violent loop. The people turned away from God, their enemies attacked, and the country got worse with every generation. As the nation grew darker, even its heroes became dangerous and deeply broken. In that harsh world, a boy named Jephthah was born. His father was a rich and important leader named Gilead. Gilead was married and had several sons with his wife, but Jephthah was not one of them. Jephthah's mother was a prostitute. His father had cheated on his wife. Instead of sending the boy away, Gilead brought Jephthah into his main house to grow up with his other children. Back then, who your parents were meant everything. It decided your money and your future. Because he lived in the main house, Jephthah was a walking reminder that his father had cheated. To his father's wife and her kids, he was a living, breathing secret they hated. Even worse, as Jephthah grew older, his half-brothers worried he would take away the land and money they were supposed to inherit. When the other sons grew up, they decided they wanted him gone. They trapped Jephthah and forced him out. "You will not get a single thing in our father's house," they told him. "You are the son of another woman." They didn't just kick him out of the house, they drove him out of the town completely. The city leaders, the men who were supposed to be fair and protect people, just watched it happen. Jephthah lost his family, his home, and his rights. He was thrown away like a mistake they wanted to erase. He walked away from the only life he knew and headed east, deep into the wild. He reached an empty, rough place called Tob. It was a dangerous land near the desert where polite people never went. But Jephthah was no longer a polite man. He had to eat, and he had to survive. Slowly, the desert drew other people to him. The Bible calls them worthless troublemakers, but they were really just castaways. They were men who owed too much money, men running from the law, men who had been chewed up and spit out by society, just like Jephthah. They gathered around him, and he became their leader. In the harsh desert, Jephthah turned this group of rejects into a deadly army for hire. They robbed, they fought, and they survived. Jephthah learned to be tough, smart, and ruthless. The boy who was thrown away turned into a dangerous warlord. While Jephthah was growing stronger in the shadows, the nation that kicked him out was falling apart. The Israelites had once again started bowing down to the fake gods of the countries around them. This time, when they cried out for God's help, the Ammonite army moved in. The Ammonites crossed the Jordan River and set up their camp, ready to wipe Israel off the map. The Israelites were terrified. The city leaders of Gilead, the very same men who let Jephthah be thrown out, held a panicked meeting. They had no general. They had no army. In their fear, they said whoever would lead the fight would become the ruler of the people. But no one stepped forward. Fear makes people selfish. The leaders looked around at each other, but nobody wanted to risk dying. Then, someone finally remembered Jephthah, the outcast, the criminal, the dangerous fighter living in the wilderness. Suddenly, the man they had thrown away became their only hope. So the leaders traveled out into the wilderness to find him. Imagine the moment. The same people who once watched him get kicked out now came crawling back because they needed him. The leaders stood before Jephthah and begged him to come back and save them from the Ammonites. Jephthah looked at them and basically said, "Are you serious? You hated me. You threw me out. Why should I help you now?" The leaders admitted they were desperate. They promised if he saved them, he would become their permanent ruler. Jephthah agreed, but he made them swear an oath before God, before marching to war. Jephthah tried something surprising. He sent messengers to the Ammonite king, asking why they were attacking Israel. The Ammonite king claimed the Israelites had stolen his land years earlier when they came out of Egypt. Jephthah answered carefully. He explained that Israel had not stolen the land from the Ammonites. They had taken it from another nation during battle after that nation attacked them first. He reminded the king that Israel had lived there for hundreds of years already. If the land really belonged to the Ammonites, why had they waited so long to ask for it back? But the Ammonite king ignored everything Jephthah said. He wanted war. So Jephthah prepared his men and got ready to fight. Before the battle, something happened that would destroy his life forever. Jephthah prayed to God and made a vow. He promised that if God gave him victory, he would sacrifice whatever first came out of his house when he returned home safely. It was a terrible promise, but Jephthah was desperate. Then the Spirit of God came upon Jephthah. He gathered his fighters and marched toward the Ammonites. The battle exploded across the hills and cities. Jephthah and his men crushed the Ammonites. 20 cities fell before them. The enemy army collapsed, and Israel was saved. Jephthah had become exactly what the leaders needed, a brutal warrior who could win wars. But as Jephthah rode home after the victory, he saw someone running out of his house to greet him. It was his daughter, his only child, dancing with joy because her father had returned alive. Jephthah tore his clothes in horror. He told her about the vow he had made to God before the battle. The girl answered with unbelievable courage. She told her father if he had made the promise before God, he had to keep it. But she asked for 2 months first. She wanted time to go into the mountains with her friends and mourn the fact that she would never marry or have children. After the 2 months ended, she returned to her father. Jephthah did what he had promised in his vow. The Bible never really describes what happened next, and people still debate it today. Some believe he literally sacrificed his daughter. Others think she was devoted to serving God for the rest of her life. Either way, the ending is heartbreaking. The man who saved Israel lost the thing he loved most because of a reckless promise spoken in desperation. Jephthah ruled Israel for 6 years. Then he died, and they buried him in one of the towns of Gilead. His time as ruler was short, bloody, and tragic. When people think about Jephthah, they usually remember the horrible vow and the innocent daughter who paid the price for her father's mistake. But Jephthah's story is bigger than that. It is the story of what happens when a broken person gains power without healing first. Jephthah was rejected, humiliated, and thrown away by the people who should have protected him. Instead of healing from his pain, he buried it under anger, violence, and pride. His daughter became the cost of a promise that never should have been spoken. That is what makes Jephthah's story so terrifying. It is not just about one bad decision. It is about how pain can twist a person if it is never healed. In the end, the greatest victory of his life became his greatest tragedy. He defeated Israel's enemies, but he could not defeat the brokenness inside himself.
Hey guys, hope you liked the video. Please like and subscribe and comment which country you guys come from. It'll truly help us. If you liked this video, then I'm sure you'll love this video also. Till the next video, see you later.